us and what we do here. So hi, my name is Ruby Matheny, and I use the pronouns she and hers. I am going to drop some Easter eggs in this presentation for those students that couldn't join us live, so that they are able to speak to our notes. And so just FYI, when I say really kind of random things, they're not as random. They're really thoughtful and intentional. But I'm the internship coordinator here at Trinity College, and I'm very excited to work with you all. Some of you I've met one-on-one, some of you I haven't. So for those of you that haven't met me or interacted with me, I am a first-gen college grad, and I take a lot of pride in helping students and providing support and trying to foster community in higher education. I am also here as a support system. I'll go into this a little bit more later on, but I'm here as a support system, even though you're not doing credit, which is still great. Or if you are doing credit, if you need anything, if you have any issues, if you're coming into uncomfortable situations, you don't know how to navigate, like I am your resource here at Trinity. And on this call with me today, we have two other professional staff. So I'm Ruby Matheny, and I would like Katie Franklin to come off mute and introduce herself and talk a little bit about herself too.
Thank you. I'm Katie Franklin, and I am the administrative and marketing assistant here in the Career and Life Design Center. I can be your support team on the Trinity campus because I know Ruby is remote. So if you're ever wandering through the office and you need someone, stop by my office, number 125. And I'm here for any questions you have about anything. And I can pass it to Janae.
All right, good morning, everyone. My voice doesn't usually sound like this, but I have some allergy stuff going on, so bear with me. Welcome and congratulations to everyone. This is such an amazing program, and you guys will talk to Ruby throughout this program. I ran it with Katie Franklin last year, and we have done some great things to it for this year for you guys. So again, congratulations. My name is Janae Folston, career coach, pre-law advisor, freshman internship coordinator, and a whole bunch of other things. But I will only be here until June 22nd of this year. I'll be transferring to another university, University of North Carolina in Wilmington. And I'm super excited about the opportunity, but I did want to get on today just to let you know that I'm still here until the day that I leave for support for my students. And I want you guys to know that you have all of us to support. Ruby is phenomenal at what she does. And your admin, Katie, she'll be responding to a lot of your emails that you send into the Catalyst mailbox. But just know, if we don't get back to you guys immediately, it's just because we have other things that we're working on, but we do try to respond within 12 to 24 hours. So that's what I will share today. Again, congratulations, everyone, and utilize your funds accordingly and have an amazing summer and awesome internships.
Yay, thank you so much, Janae. We're really, really sad to see you moving to another university, but thank you for everything you've done for this program and all your students and your support, and UNC is so lucky to have you. So we don't have a terribly packed agenda. I hope that is okay with you all. I don't know that we'll use the whole time, but here's kind of a little overlook of what we're going to be doing. First, we're going to go into creating an impactful internship experience. For those of you that aren't taking internship or credit, I just kind of wanted to impart some tools to you on how to utilize your time in your internship to the best of your capabilities. If you're investing time, you're investing yourself, might as well get the best out of it that you can, right? Janae and Katie, I think, are gonna tag team. Katie, I think likely will take on a lot of the forms information. We're gonna go over a list of musts. So I would really hope that, and a couple points in this, you'll take some notes on what you need to do in order to have your funding released. And this is part of it. So yay, big first step. Congratulations, guys. I'm actually gonna drop an Easter egg here, because I think it might be a good point for those students. And the Easter egg is that Reggie Miller is my favorite basketball player. I know, I'm dating myself. And lastly, we're gonna go over important dates. So just making sure you understand the flow and the cadence of the funding part of this. And then we'll be here, we'll stick around for a little while for questions. If you wanna go over anything else, if you wanna take this opportunity to connect with us for any reason, we're gonna just be here and ready to talk. Cool. So importantly, regarding making the best of your internship, whether or not you're taking credit, you need to make sure you're in contact with your internship supervisor. Internship supervisor is the person who is mentoring you or assigning you tasks at work or evaluating your work. And sometimes it's kind of hard to talk to someone in that position, a new position of a mentor. And so just having a really candid conversation with them of saying hey, can we meet to discuss some things? One thing I want to make sure that you absolutely have is, what is your working schedule? Knowing that expectation, knowing how to plan your day, knowing how to plan your weeks, your summer around those expectations, or then asking for a shift in those expectations can really help the smoothness of onboarding into your internship. One way also that you could get a lot out of this is to build out goals with your supervisor. So goals can be, I've never really had exposure to internal meetings of leaders. Is there a way that I could sit in the corner of the room and watch a meeting with the leadership of this team? Another goal could be, something I would really like to work on is honing my skills of analytics with this particular tool, because we have a very interesting and broad variety of students doing internships on this call. And so I recognize that lots of you are going to be doing lots of different things. And really what I'm trying to say is, it's okay, and I encourage you to advocate for what you want to learn and what you want your experience to be. This is your experience. Though you may have applied for a job and gotten the job, the internship, though you might have predetermined, everyday activities, etc., you are able to get more out of your internship if you are advocating for yourself and articulating the skills you want to develop. So connecting with your supervisor is going to be great. Also, it strengthens the connection throughout. So they're probably more likely then to give you critical feedback, which can help you grow. And they're probably more likely to want to connect with you and build your social network with you if you are having these very impactful and connecting conversations with your supervisor. So how are you going to prepare to present yourself, to represent yourself, and Trinity? Because you guys are doing these internships on behalf of Trinity as well. You are an extension of us, and you bring value to the Trinity, the Trinity network. You bring value to the clout that Trinity has in saying we are an awesome institution. You probably want to hire our students, our alums, etc. And so it's really important that you are bringing on the brand that you think will represent that. And so a few parts of that are understanding attire. And so since we have students that are working in all different industries, all different sectors, all different parts of the United States, you're probably going to see that there are different cultural standards of attire and dress in your workplace. And so, just understanding that when you come in and maybe adjusting if you feel comfortable. And please don't think that I'm telling you have to, because I am all about, honor yourself and who you are and how you want to be in that workplace. And these are just secondary tools in case you want to explore kind of looking the part on this slide. And so you can also articulate and communicate that to your supervisors, to your colleagues, etc. You can ask questions about how you can best integrate into the workplace. And also if you have any questions about how like to write a formal email, how to communicate this certain idea, we're still here for you for that. We are experts in the workplace and helping you integrate into there. So please feel free to reach out to us casually and we can help you be less casual in your communication. But you can also ask your supervisor if you feel comfortable. A way that you can also really make an impact on your brand at your workplace and your internship is by being prompt. It's not easy. Trust me, here's an Easter egg, 4 children and so getting out of the house with 4 children and getting to work, even if it's virtual, is sometimes the struggle, but it really shows when you honor your timeframes that you are invested and committed, and it can make a really high impact on your supervisor. And like I said, when you build that connection and that impact on your supervisor, they might open up their doors of social connection. And an internship can really be a valuable social connection tool. And then email and phone etiquette. Some workplaces, like in the tech industry, there's a lot of sup bros there. And they're like, sup bro, here's something I need to do. And I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of industries like higher education where dear so-and-so, thank you so much for reaching out, is exactly the way that you need to address an email. And so if you are not sure and you would like some coaching on that, we're here for you. And just be mindful of it. Be mindful about how other people are addressing you and how you are kind of mirroring that maybe. Same with phone etiquette. Generally speaking, a lot of jobs, they might give you a prompt like, hello, and thank you for calling so-and-so. This is so-and-so. How can I help you? Or it might be, hello, Mr. Blah, because you can see it on the caller ID because this is not 1998. And you say, hello, Mr. Blah, this is Ruby. How can I help you? And so just being really conscientious about how you present yourself in every way that you're interacting in your internship can help you. It can provide a better experience. And it is practice because I do it every day, every minute. Sometimes I can get casual with my colleagues and my students, and sometimes it's very like proper communication styles, and there's adjustability there. I'm droning on, so I'm going to take 1 second and not talk so you don't have to hear my voice. And we'll go again. So another key to this whole internship experience and getting the best out of it, I'm going to move my head, I'm going to float up here for a little bit, is that you're going to actually do the work that you were hired to do and have the experience that you were brought on to do. And you're going to integrate that. So you can build your skills and your network out via this experience. Identifying soft skills means like, hey, in this internship, I did a lot of professional emailing. Like I had to figure out how to solve problems. I had to, coach students in this particular way, in this particular fashion. And so identifying those skills that you are building on and writing them down, keeping track of them, because those are the skills that you put on your resume. It's so important to understand that, like, even if it seems like, yeah, so I do a PowerPoint, like, oh, big deal. No, it is a big deal because every employer ever in every industry wants to know that you know how to professionally communicate. And so like understanding what that means and how you have built on those skills is really important. And one way you can keep track of that is by doing a journal. When you do an internship for credit, oftentimes your faculty will ask you to do a journal and submit these journals. And it's like, I'm not like a 12-year-old person anymore. I don't journal. But if you don't journal because it's a habit of yours, this is just a really great way for you to consistently keep up with what you've done. Because trust me, when classes start in late August, September, and you are done with your internship, you might scratch your head and be like, what was that thing again? Like, what soft skills? What did I do? It was just a whirlwind summer. The network building can occur in many ways. That's like social capital can be built in one-on-one authentic relationships. Social capital can be built while building relationships with your colleagues or the people that you're serving and whatnot. And LinkedIn is just such a valuable tool for like keeping track of that. And I don't mean to push LinkedIn on you. I think if I've had a one-on-one appointment with you, I've probably already mentioned LinkedIn, and it's not all that fun. It's not like, hey, the juice is there. You know, you're not finding like, sometimes it's not terribly interesting, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where people in fields can connect and continue building those connections. So a lot of times it'll be a colleague moving to another place. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool that they're now going to Wesleyan. And that's so exciting. Or they're now going to UNC. And now I have a connection at UNC in case I ever moved to North Carolina. I'm just saying. So another way that you can get, you can work and integrate the work that you're doing is ask for feedback, not just from your supervisor, but from your colleagues. You can say things like, hey, remember that that orientation I did? What did you think about my section? Did you think that was like I gave any value to the students? Like, I'm totally going to do that with Katie and Janae after this call. And hopefully they can say, hey, you said a lot. You sounded kind of underprepared. Or they'll say, that was awesome. And I'm going to take some of those tools and validate something. So it can go either way. You can get critical feedback, you can get positive feedback. And both of those are really valuable. And they can help me grow as a person. You talked really fast. I really liked when you paused. That might be some feedback I get, to be honest. When you're done with this experience or wrapping it up, please come see us in the CNLDC. I've decided I'm never saying the full thing again. Come see us, because we'll do like a resume review with you and teach you how to spin the skills, teach you how to articulate the skills, the soft skills, the hard skills, the experience that you've had on a resume with best practice for the industry that you're probably looking at getting into. And it's just such a valuable tool that we can give you, and you know how to get a hold of us. You're here now. So I hope that you'll come visit us. Okay, so just in case some of you are on remote internship, I added this. And this was way relevant in the pandemic, more like non-in-person times, but there are still remote internships, and I'm pretty glad because I'm remote. So a few key points are that sometimes structure is hard to like build in a remote environment. You're at home and boundaries are weird and stuff. So just please be mindful of setting a clear structure for that one-on-one supervision, because when someone's not like a door down that you can go, hey, I have a question, it becomes a little more difficult, and it's a more fragile environment. And so please be mindful to set up a structure for your one-on-one supervision if that's not being done for you. Again, same stuff kind of applies. You need to implement feedback. Like, it's going to be more relevant, I think, to get to immediately say, you know, if someone says, hey, you know, you have your out of office on all the time and everyone thinks that you don't work here, you got to take that off. Implement it extremely quickly. And if you need help understanding that feedback, again, we're here to help translate some things for you. Make internship goals for yourself if you're doing a remote internship that is not for credit, in the same way. And then make sure you understand your schedule requirements, yours and theirs. So if you're doing a remote internship because you need the flexibility because you also have a job, or, you know, you take care of family members or whatever that might be, just be very clear and articulate about scheduling for yourself. And because it gets a little blurry when you're at home sometimes. I know it does for me. Like, you know, I work at night sometimes and I probably shouldn't. All right. So now I'm going to hand it over to my wonderful colleagues. I'm not sure that I can take my face off, so you're going to see me nodding on the screen.
All right, guys, so we're gonna go through this. Oh, you're gonna make me dizzy. Don't do that. All right, guys. So the student learning agreements and the employer verification forms. Can you guys just give a thumbs up in the either in the chat or on your screens, just so we can make sure that everyone has those. They should have already started coming back in, but if someone doesn't, we want to make sure that you have all the documents and everything you need. Awesome. I see Emma, I see Joey, and a few others. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gerard, I got you. So thank you. So if you have any questions on those, please, please, please make sure you get back to us. Again, this is everything that Ruby just talked about with regard to you talking to your supervisor and really putting in that agreement all the skills that you want to learn over this summer and what you want to be able to add to your resume. The employer verification form is also very important for us to have, because we will be checking in with your supervisors just to say, hey, how are you? How's the student doing? And just to confirm that all is going well and you're getting those hours that you submitted to us. So please, please, please get those to us by May 27th. And that will be Friday. So we want to make sure we have all those by then. If you have a situation or circumstance where you are not able to get those into us, please email us or reach out to one of us directly, and we will be more than happy to make a note that when you can get that into us, but they are due May 27th unless there's an extenuating circumstance. Ruby, next slide. All right, and these are the agreements here. There's some updates. We wanted to just post them just in case you haven't seen them. The career development internship fund student learning agreement. We actually need to update that lingo there, guys. It should be career and life design. I think we put the wrong form in here, but that's okay. But we want to make sure you guys have this back to us, signed and dated as soon as possible. And these are the forms that we are expecting to see on Friday. Next slide, I think it's going to be the supervisor agreement. Yes. So another example of our employer confirmation, just making sure this is the one you're going to talk to your supervisor. You guys are going to come up with what your learning objectives are going to be. There are 4 lines here, but if you have 2 or 3, that's awesome. You don't need to fill out all 4. I would say 1 is probably, unless you have a really short time frame in your internship, I would say you want to go for 2 to 3 at the minimal during your internship experience. And then again, this is what your employer signs, you sign it, and at the end of your internship, we make sure that all these things have been reviewed, have been done by you and accomplished by yourself, and the supervisor has provided you the necessary skills to complete those tasks. And payroll. So I'm just going to share a little bit about this. Katie, this is where Katie Franklin may jump in a little bit, but if you have had a job on campus, you will not need to complete all the great forms that we sent out to you. But if you have never had a job on campus, you will need to submit directly to payroll your I-9 W-4 and your Connecticut W-4 and a direct deposit your direct deposit form. So if anyone has any questions, I will do a pause right there because I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be as great as Ruby and do all the other stuff, but maybe next time. So does anyone have any questions about payroll? Usually this is where we get tons of questions and we want to make sure that we get those answered. Anyone have any payroll questions?
I think Michael has one.
Okay, Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, so I actually reached out to the payroll office and they said, so I had worked a work study before, but they had a bunch of questions like if the payment is coming through the payroll office, who is generating it, and if a request has been submitted yet. So what do I say back to them? Because I told them, like, I assume I'm telling them it's like Cotter Fund.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send the paperwork to payroll probably right after we go through this orientation. And once we authorize you guys with payroll, they'll have your names on file. I just figured it would be best for you guys to reach out sooner rather than later to payroll so they can send you these forms if you need them and need some time to fill them out. If you want to respond to the payroll office and just tell them that you'll be receiving your Cotter Fund, right? Is that?
Yes.
Cotter summer funding from the Career and Life Design Center, and that we will be sending the paperwork over ASAP.
And should I say it's from Katie Franklin?
Yeah, you can throw my name in there. Susan will
All right.
love it.
What was that thing called again? Community what?
The Career and Life Design Center.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we don't have, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Katie.
I was just gonna say, we don't have copies of the blank forms. So you guys are gonna have to communicate directly with payroll. So instead of us being like the middleman between you guys and payroll, you guys are just gonna work directly with each other.
Awesome. Any other payroll questions?
Cool.
And Ruby, you can just scroll through all of the forms. These are just the forms that you, if you need them, these what the forms will look like that you will receive from payroll. All right. So Ruby is dancing across our screen right now. I'll share a little bit about our photo essay project. And this is one of the amazing pieces of the project that keep you guys focused during your project, keep you on task, and keep you excited about what's going on. So we do expect you guys to take photos of yourself, your supervisors, colleagues, meetings. Obviously, you want to ask permission of these individuals if you're going to use colleagues or other people in the work environment. Some people are in really cool spaces. We've had people all over, and we'll go through the slides and you'll see some various different photo essays, what they look like, how people put them together. I'm not sure, Ruby, if you put a few more in, awesome. So just as simple as this is great. A 3 to 4 is good with pictures on the slides with a couple of blurbs next to each photo is great. We just want to make sure that you capture the essence of what you did throughout the summer, because this information is then shared with our funders. Ruby, I love it. She just did a side dip for us. And again, yes, we've had people submit spreadsheets or notes that they've taken themselves, colleagues. So you can be very creative in this space when it comes to the photo essay, the outside of the building that you work in or that you work for. Again, Ruby mentioned some of you may be remote. If you are remote, if you want to take photos of your Zoom sessions, that's cool too. There are so many different ways to do this. We just want to make sure that you're engaging in a different way to bring us into that experience when we get to read all of these at the end of the program. So I know some of you are Cotter, some of you have the Catalyst, but we will definitely love to engage with all of this information at the end and ask any questions so that you may share. I don't know if there'll be a slide in here on this, but there's also a thank you that we ask you guys to do, yes, at the end. So it's a part of our must-dos. Look at that. So midsummer, mid-July, we send you
I think
an email and you will do, it's almost like that journal entry that Ruby talked about earlier. You want to take that and actually put it in an email, send it to us. And then the end of the summer check-in email, same thing. What we also do, what I was going to get into is what we do now is instead of writing letters to our funders, having you guys write letters to our funders, we actually do something called a thank you, and it's a video to the donor. And last year we put together kind of some questions for you to answer in response to that. But we want you to be very organic in the video, what your name is, your major, all those great things, and just share what your experience was like and why this funding was so important to you. And I'm sure over the summer, Ruby and Katie will have additional information coming to you about that. But I really think that is one of the keys as you are doing your photos, as you are checking in with us. These are things that can all go into that thank you video experience. Lastly, We ask you about the submitting the photo essay, which you just saw a bunch of them. And those are really all the to-dos to receive this funding. And I think that's pretty cool. So if you have any questions about any of this, or Ruby, if you want to add something to what I've provided, you're more than welcome to jump in. But we really want your questions right now, because over the summer, we know that the emails will come in. And if we can answer anything now while we have the collective, that would be awesome.
Yep, and I'm just gonna let you know that, like, here's the notes that I want you to take about when things are due and when your disbursements will come, because I get a lot of questions about when that might happen, and I totally get it. You know, you're getting funding, a lot of you are relying on this for well-being, et cetera. And so I just want to be sure to that you note all of these dates. And I can help you if you want them emailed to you. I can screenshot this or send you the slide. That's fine too. That's all in your onboarding documents when you got your funding letters. So we're trying to give it to you in many different ways because these are truly very important dates. I just really love being a floating head. It's just like a dream come true. So questions, let's talk. What's going on in your minds? What are you feeling? What do you want to talk about regarding funding, dates, you know, the internships, anything that's going on? Please feel free to unmute.
One thing to add before questions. The photo release form, which I just noticed is not on our slide here, for the photo essays and thank you videos. If basically at the end, if you don't feel comfortable filming yourself or having your video sent to the donors, you do not have to sign the photo release form, and you can write the thank you letter instead of doing the thank you video. We also like to share out photos and videos on our social media at Trin Call Careers if you're not already following. So again, the photo release form kind of, if you sign it, it gives us permission to use your guys' amazing experiences to share with students for next year, and also the donors, because they love to hear from you guys. So really there are 3 forms for May 27th, in addition to the payroll forms. So make sure to sign the photo release form if you feel comfortable. We really love it if you would. Thank you very much. I think that was the only thing about that.
Catch, Katie. Thank you.
And I would say go follow us at what's our tag on Instagram?
At Trin Call Careers. I'll put it in the chat.
Yes, please go follow us. And I want you guys to take a look at some of the previous thank you letters, because they're out there. The ones that we did, the where they're actually speaking and gave us a yes, just so you'll see kind of what that looked like and what you'll be doing at the end of the summer for us. Again, like Katie said, you do not have to, but sometimes it is easier to kind of go in and just do a quick 2-minute, 1-minute video and submit that, rather than writing another document, since we're asking for some other documents throughout the experience and that photo essay. So completely up to you all, but we would say follow us because if you send us something, we may end up sharing it. You never know. So if you send us a photo in advance and say, we're just having a good time, wanted to check in, and that was a part of your check-in, and you say we can share it, we would love to do that, because we want to make sure that we are sharing your experiences, because this is such an awesome opportunity that you guys have. So again, thank you all for joining us. And I think we have a shy group this year, guys, but hopefully by midsummer, they'll talk more to us.
Yeah, and Janae, thank you so much for that. Honestly, the allowing the photo essay and et cetera for us to share it, a couple things happen. One, we can maybe secure more funding for fellow Bantams in the future that actually that have the same needs that y'all do and can have experiences like y'all do. And then also you know, being hashtag Bantam famous might be kind of cool, but you know, there's a lot of give back that is a power in the give back. And so we really appreciate you considering allowing us to use your experiences to help generate more interest in helping our students and our community. And yeah, like Janae said, she nailed it. Thank you. Come follow us, and follow us also for like other events and stuff. Katie does an excellent job communicating that stuff through Instagram. I know I'm on Instagram for like happy times. And so sometimes when I'm going through my email, it gets a little stressful. So maybe if you saw like, hey, we're doing a resume review in the quad, you might not feel as stressed as if you got it in your email and it would feel like a task. So follow us on Instagram. We'll be sure to be funny and have fun, and reach out to the team if you have any more questions. Otherwise, it looks like we've all just, you know, finished up quickly. If you do have questions and you don't feel like doing it on this, I totally get it. And so I'm here like 24/7. So please reach out. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to stay on until y'all out. And I appreciate all of you. Can't wait to hear how awesome your experiences are.
Just a reminder too, we are open all summer for appointments. So you can do virtual or in-person appointments if you guys need help with anything that you're working on during your internship, updating your resume, whatever. We don't have the career studio during the summer, but the coaches are here for one-on-one appointments, and there's more availability in the summer because nobody's around. So, but we don't get summer vacations. Yay.
Fearless chicken. Let's do it. All right. You're all dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.